Welcome to another edition of John McEntyre Show live. Back in the morning, so I can't say prime time, um, but it felt good saying that prime time type thing. But we're back in the morning, 11 o'clock. This is our chosen time, and so we are here. Today is Tuesday, July 16th, 2024. Um, the month is moving ahead. We're midway through the month, and so hopefully. Uh, you're back on track. If you wasn't on track from the beginning of the year, the first half, maybe you're on track now. We have and there's a lot of things. This time of the year it gets busier and busier because now we're on that other side of the hump of the Independence Day holiday and Fourth of July holiday. So now thinking about going back to school, all of that type of stuff. And a weird thing, I was actually talking to someone. Their kids they got out of school like mid-April, and they went back to school yesterday. And I was like, there is no way in the world you could drag me out of the house as hot as it is to go to a school. And it's July, it's in the summer, and I'm like, um, I don't know. Uh, that 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off, year-round school, maybe. But getting out in April, and then because most of the time in April, some are just doing spring break, and then you're getting out of school, so everyone's enjoying themselves, and you happen to go drag yourself out of bed to go to school. This time, today, no, I'll pass. Glad I didn't have to go through it. So, um, but yeah, so we're here back on the mornings. Um, You know the routine. Going to do some wallet wins, share some wallet wins, have some good ones. And today it was a question, um, but it was posed as I was working with a client. So, and I felt it would be good to share today. Then we'll do the question of the day, and then we will be on our way. Like that, we'll do the question of the day, then we'll be on our way. And I had some other things to say, but I won't go that way. Wallet win number one. I moved my money from a regular savings account to a high yield savings account. Yes, that is a good wallet win. You're actually going to see right off the bat because and I think I was talking about that yesterday also, and I've talked about it quite a bit because it's actually people are beginning to really see the benefit of between a high yield savings account and just a regular savings account. The biggest benefit is usually the high yield savings account. It offers enough in percentages to not cause you to lose to inflation. Basically, it's inflation proof it inflation proofs your savings account. That's one of the big benefits of it. So, regular savings account giving maybe what 2%, sometimes 2%. Uh, that's usually the highest. Maybe some may touch 3, and that's not enough to offset inflation. Whereas a high yield savings account, they're usually starting around 4 and going up, and so that balances out the inflation thing. So you're not losing money to inflation because that's usually the reason why you don't want to have just a lot of money just sitting in a savings account is because inflation is just eating it up. But with the high yield savings account, that's not happening. So that is a wallet win. You should see the benefit of that right off the gate. Wallet win number two: I bundled my home and auto insurance, and I'm saving $100 monthly. Yep, that's a good one. It's $1,200 savings a year for home and auto insurance, which is two of the larger expenses in your budget. Yeah, and that's one of those where you visit that every so often. You don't just forget about it. You visit it because you may see even bigger savings out there. Because most of the time, just bundling the home and auto, most people they just think that that's what you do, but it's really not. Most of the time, a person has a home and then they have a separate auto policy. But when you bundle, the companies they give you better deals because they're getting more of your business. And the more you do, the more you bring in, the cheaper it will get, you know, over the course of a year. And rates are in the insurance rates are constantly changing. Uh, it depends on what's going on. For instance, some states they're not seeing some insurance companies any longer because of these, these big catastrophes that have been happening, the hurricanes and tornadoes and floods and things like that, and they were just paying out too much. Uh, um, and they was like, we cannot stay in business, we can't make a profit doing this. And so some states they just pull it out. So that's why you should always keep it top of mind to shop it. A lot of times when we're working with clients, it's one of the first things we look at everything, but usually the biggest change is usually with the home and auto insurance. Just bundling them just cause a savings right off the gate. So yeah, there we go. Wallet win number 3, canceled. Well, they said I cut the cord and I canceled my cable and satellite. Uh, Went to pure internet television, and I'm saving over $300 monthly. Yeah, yeah, that's a big one. $3,600. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the fact of you had cable and satellite, so yeah, you was spending some money, some serious coin there, because cable and satellite, and I can see the benefits sometimes. With cable, I know one of the things I missed when we first did away with cable, uh, because we didn't do away with it. They sort of did away with us by not coming out when we built our house. It took them like 3 months before they even decided that they were going to come out, and by that time, um, direct TV came on the scene. And so we were actually the first in our neighborhood to do direct television. It was, new construction neighborhood, and so they gave us a very good deal, and we stayed grandfathered for a long time. I mean, they fought us tooth and nail on that, so we would like save other people. They were paying like a ton of money. We had one of the old grandfather packages, and they was like, well, you can add this, and like, no, because that will do away with the grandfather. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get us to break the old contract. Not happening here. uh, and so, but then finally we were able, we saw the benefits of it, and then we made the moves of cutting the cord, and everyone's happy now. Then some new channels was added. I didn't know that what antenna was so valuable, could be so valuable. So I'm seeing some of the older shows that I actually did watch at one time. So I catch those every now and then. So yeah, we're saving money, and we're happy getting a little nostalgia thing going. So yeah, canceling cable and satellite, saving over $300. Yeah, that can help the budget out big time. So there we go, 3 big wallet wins for the day. So now, like I was saying earlier, this was a question that came at working with someone, and I wanted to just share it. And basically, the question, as we was looking through all of the situations, uh, financially, it was like looking at work and benefits and everything, because she just didn't understand all of the benefits that she had. She'd been offered a new job at a different company. Uh, so before you make any moves, there's always the question is what will you be leaving on the table? And so this one, it was a vested question because she did have a 401k, um, and it was being matched, and her thing was the job that she was being offered. It was the better job, the job that she wanted. She had been going for a few years, and so she knew the path she had to take. And the job that she has, it's not a bad job, has actually some good benefits. One dollar for dollar matching in 401k. And so we had to look at the vesting thing, because just because you get the 401k doesn't mean you get to use it right off the gate. It doesn't. Most of the time, most companies, they don't allow you to use it immediately, because the matching, it's the main thing. The main reason for companies matching and offering those types of benefits is to keep employees, because it's actually cheaper to keep the employee, um, than hiring another one, bringing in a new employee. So they figured, okay, the most pensions, the day of those big pensions are gone. So they had to come up with a new strategy to attract good employees, because that's what really is what's keeping people at those jobs for long periods of time. They knew they were going to get that good pension. And so they they were like, okay, yeah, I'll stay. I'll do my time. And when I get, when I retire, whatever, I'll have a pension, social security, all of this good stuff, and I should be set. Well, those days, we know they're long gone. So we have to pretty much do our own thing. We're out here left to build, which is a big benefit because we have the tax benefits and all of this. Well, some of the companies were, some of the great companies was like, we don't have a problem. If we get a good employee, we want to do what we have to do to keep the employee. And that's where like 401ks came from and everything. Now, the thing about 401ks and vested, having the vested, it depends on the company. Some companies, they start the vesting immediately. You start receiving, your contribution. They match it. Say, for instance, dollar for dollar. Not all companies do dollar for dollar matching, and that's just another thing. Also, well, these company sponsored retirement plans, like I say, they can match up to 100%, and most of the time they're like graded. You receive your vesting. They say, for instance, you stay here, you will be fully vested in 5 years. The first year, it may be 20%. You're 20% vested. The next year, it goes another 20%. The next year, 20%, 20%, till it reaches 100%. And what that's saying is, if you did leave, you would only have access to 20% of the money that we matched. You take your contributions, the contributions are yours. You made the contribution, we're matching it. So this first year, if you did leave us, you would only take 20%. And this is a hypothetical. If they were doing it on a graded scale, you would only take 20%. So if we put in 100, you would only take $20 off the 100 or whatever. So that's how it is. So each one, they have their way of doing it. Some, they just say, in five years, or this time you are, you're fully vested, but you only get to take so much. And you just have to read your package to really understand that. And because the thing is, if you don't meet the vesting requirements, you lose the contributions. You don't lose your contributions, you lose their contributions. I really want to stress that part, because that's the main thing. So in this particular situation, the client, she was offered a job that's paying $25,000 more per year. And that's not a bad raise at all. Extra 25,000. Say, for instance, you're going from 75 to 100. That's a good jump. Or anyway, you're going from 25,000 to 50. You doubled it, 50 to 75. That's a serious bump in income. But we still had to look at all of the entire situation, because maybe you are receiving a raise, but we had to look at things like, okay, is your commute time the same? Is it shortened? Is it lengthened? What are the other benefits? What are the future opportunities with the job? Do you have the opportunity? And so she was like checking off boxes. She was like, I've been looking for this for a long time. I tried a couple of years ago, didn't get it, and I knew what I had to do to get back to it. And so she was very motivated. She knew what she was getting into. So we basically just had to look at that part. What will you take with you? Okay. What are you leaving on the table? What will you leave on the table, and what will you take with you? Well, after looking at her vested part, it was only like seven, not only, but it was $7,000 she would be leaving. And the 25,000 she was receiving with the new company, the bump in pay, it outweighed that 7,000. So that's how we came to the conclusion. She made it's just your decision. It's her decision. But after we looked at it, and we, looked at it forwards, backwards, all around, came to the conclusion. She was like, I'm not losing 7,000. I'm not losing $7,000. I'm actually gaining. I was like, okay. She said, so there's my answer. I really want this job, and I'm not leaving any money on the table, really. So the raise is a true raise. It is a positive raise. It's not a lateral or I won't be losing. It is actually positive and always around. She's going to be happier. She's going to be wealthier, and and actually their matching plan is on par, but I think just a tad bit better. I think it was actually a little bit better, and some of the other benefits that was offered. So it was an easy one. She was actually able to make a good solid decision, uh, and it was good that she basically said, "I need someone to look at this because I'm probably a little too emotionally attached, and so I need someone that can just look at this. We don't have any attachments to it." And we were able to look at it, and she was like, "That's what I was thinking, but I just wanted to make sure." And now she's happy to have made the move. She's doing good. So there's something to really think about in this. People thinking of making job changes, um, and moves and things like that, wondering if they're vested, how it works and all of that, which leads into our question of the day. And our question of the day is, do you really understand your benefits package? Most people, they basically hear I'm matched dollar for dollar, or I'm going to receive every dollar I put in 50 cent or whatever. Um, they hear that part. I do have insurance. If I go to the doctor, I don't pay. I don't have a copay, or my family. And then they don't really don't look at the rest of it. So they may, you may overlook 70% of your package. 70% of it. Then when it's time to make a move, you might find yourself, stuck, or you're about to take a serious loss. And so that's the question: do you really understand your benefits package? And if you're not sure, need someone to look at it, give us a call, or talk to someone about it. Call and talk to HR. Make an appointment with your HR department, um, and they're probably going to say, "Well, we had this meeting. Yeah, but I was excited about getting a job. Now I really want to understand my package." Okay, yes, sure. They do it because that's what they're supposed to do anyway. So there you go. So that's the question of the day. Do you really understand your benefits package? So I hope the information was good for you. If it was, and you want to talk to us, our information, contact information is on the screen. Visit us at johnmcintyre.com. Contact us. Phone number is on the screen, toll free. A couple other things. If you like the show, hit that like button. If you're watching by Facebook, like the page, follow it. If you're watching by YouTube, subscribe, like. If we brought value, share it. Do those things for us. A couple more things. Have a good day, and tune in tomorrow to another episode of the John McEntyre Show live.